Previously, when things have gone wrong medically in this country, when drugs have been prescribed that have hurt people, or even killed people, their families have been compensated, or the individuals, if they've stayed alive, they've been compensated. And you say that nothing has been done for you, or very little has been done for you and for other haemophiliacs who were infected?
Well, in 1991, the government basically made everybody sign waivers, giving the government what's called Crown immunity, whereas basically any action, as soon as we signed those pieces of paper, well, there was no chance that we could ever in the future take any legal action against the government for what they'd done to their patients.
Well, why did you sign them then?
Because they offered us small. It was part of a package deal. Think of it that way. Haemophiliacs that contracted HIV, depending on their status and who they had to support and the size of the families, were given what called ex gratia payments, and they ranged from anything from £20,000 up to £60,000. And that amount was based on the fact that none of them were expected to live for any more than 2 years from the date of that payment. Now, £20,000, it's at the time it was just above minimum wage. And basically, you were given this money, you signed the piece of paper, and then you went on your way. And they thought, well, okay, people are dying at, I think the rate was, I don't know, 50, 60 a month at the time. By the time the 2 years are up, there's no one going to be left anyway, so...
I mean, it was a pitiful amount, wasn't it, when you consider what people these days who are harmed in accidents or injured by a drug that a drug company's produced, but people will claim millions and millions of pounds. It sounds like you were bought off for a pittance.
It was. That's exactly what it was. It was a pittance. Several small support groups have been set up in the interim, such as the McFarlane Trust for the HIV and for the HIV, Skipton Fund for Hep C payments, which gives people small monthly payments to top up the benefits, because none of these people can work or are too ill to work. And these top-up payments have been made progressively over the years. But what we're trying to do now is we're trying to get the same level of compensation that was paid to people in Ireland. And those the people receive decent amount of money. It's mainly to give them financial security throughout the rest of their lives, to enable them to buy the things that they couldn't possibly afford on the very small incomes that they have at the moment.
Richard, have you ever been able to work?
I've not been able to work since 1987 was the last time I worked, and I was a computer engineer, and I had to give that up, which is a job I loved.
Yeah. Computers have come on away since then, haven't they?
They have indeed.
Have you kept abreast anyway?
Oh yes, yeah, in my own way.
How's your health now?
It's not so bad. I still have some mornings I just simply can't get out of bed. I'm so tired, and my joints are terrible because I get bleeding into haemophiliacs. Get bleeding not only to the muscles and superficial bruises, but actually bleeding into joints, target joints such as elbows and knees and ankles, and that destroys the linings in the joints, and you end up with severe osteoarthritis, and that makes the joints even more susceptible to future bleeding episodes, muscle wastage, constant pain, and then of course all the side effects from the huge amounts of drugs I have to take for the HIV and the Hep C.
What's it done to your relationship with your wife?
If anything, strengthened it. My wife's very, very supportive. She's wonderful. I don't know if I'd do without her. As I say, it's just a pity about the children bit. But in my current state of health, I don't think I'd be able to bring up a child, not without help.
Is it something you ever considered?
Yeah, there are ways of doing it. Obviously, there's sperm washing and all the other things that they can do these days, but at my age and in my current condition, I just don't think I'd be able to cope at this stage. It would be nice, but Yeah. Very difficult.
What do you... this meeting at the House of Commons is taking place on Thursday, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This coming Thursday, yeah, 10 o'clock. 10:30.
What will satisfy you? I mean, no one's going to sit there and with a big checkbook on Thursday and say, OK, you guys, we accept that you've been treated pretty badly by the state all these years. Let us start writing cheques here and now. What will satisfy you and the other people who campaign on the contaminated blood disaster as you come away from that meeting?
I think a guaranteed lump sum that will help us financially get on with the rest of our lives and give us our dignity back. The government health service can never give us our health back, and for what they've done to us and how disgracefully they've treated us over the years. But they can give us our dignity back and let us, get on with our lives. That we've lost 30 years of our lives to this terrible medical scandal, and it's destroyed, it's broken up families, it's left children orphaned, widows without a penny. Just give us the ability. It's more than dignity. It's the ability to be able to do something with the rest of our lives and to live out the rest of it with some support, some financial support, because these people can't work anymore, and they'll never be able to earn the sorts of money that they could do. So it's that's what we want. A similar sort of levels to what we're paid in Ireland. If you compare France to Ireland, I mean, in France, where the scandal took place as well, chiefs of the medical blood transfusion service in France were locked up, they were jailed for this, for manslaughter. I mean, that's never happened in Ireland, it's never happened in the UK. It's just been kept out of the press. I mean, if you compare this to the MP's expenses scandal, I mean, that was just a schoolyard prank compared to what this is. It was it's unforgivable what these people have done, and the thing is that they knew about it. They've known about it all this time since the mid-70s, and they continue to import these blood products from these dubious sources.
Richard, it wasn't kept out of the press today, largely because you had the courage to speak about it. You talked about wasting the last 30 years. I hope you don't feel you've wasted the last 30 minutes. I don't think you have. I'm extremely grateful to you. Thank you for talking to us on the programme today. Will you let us know how... Well, don't thank me. Will you let us know how things turn out on Thursday?
Of course I will.
Please do.
Cheers.
Lovely to speak to you. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Cheers now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Richard Warwick. Remarkable man, brave man, I think you will agree. Taking part in this special meeting at the House of Commons on Thursday on the whole contaminated blood disaster, when the Business Backbench Committee meets to discuss the issue. Extraordinary story. And but I don't know, I'm always amazed by the people who come onto this programme to tell their stories, how positive they are. It's sort of... Again, it's another one of those instances that sort of puts your own life in perspective, doesn't it? If you have something to say about what you've heard Richard talking about in the last half hour, then pick up the phone and call me, please. 01904 641 641. That's 01904 641 641. You could text 81333, or you could put your thoughts in an email to phone.in@bbc.co.uk. It may just be a message to say, good luck, Richard, and your fellow survivors going to the House of Commons.